I must admit that it is a real pleasure to be here this morning, to have these moments of exchange with you, to share the human warmth of our brothers, sisters, fathers and mothers from the Central Plateau region. I would like us to pay a vibrant tribute to those who are fighting on the front lines, who allow us to gather here, to exchange and to see the prospects for our homeland. I would like us to observe a minute of silence in memory of those who have lost their lives in this battle. Thank you. It has been almost 10 years that we have been in this situation of war, and I think you are following the developments as they unfold. I hope everyone is aware that we are no longer in a war against terrorism, but in a war for independence. Everyone must understand that it is a strategy for the imperialists to impose this war on us. Normally, every leader, every ruler should fight for their country. It's a strategy. They fight for their interests, and we must also fight for our interests. If we manage to develop and prosper, it means that over there, they will not be able to develop. They will have to regress. If we manage to transform our raw materials tomorrow, it means that over there, factories will close. Do you understand the logic? So it's normal for them to fight to disrupt our society, to keep it in constant war, so that we can never think about developing one day. There they will continue to develop, while we will always be here exporting our raw materials to them, and our youth suffering in poverty, trying to cross the ocean to go beg over there. They are in their logic of protecting their interests, in the wrong way certainly, but our duty is to fight to free ourselves and get out of this situation. That is why I will take advantage of this blessed month, where Christians and Muslims come together during Lent to wish everyone a good Lent, and may God answer the prayers of each and every one. Also may everyone at their own level truly take advantage of this month to change their paradigm towards their neighbors and everything that surrounds us. I hope that religious leaders here in Burkina Faso also take advantage of this moment to preach. I would say to preach the good word to those, the lost ones who hold weapons in the bush and kill, because some kill, and they think they are killing in the name of religion. Religious leaders must be able to make many declarations together, many sermons, to make them understand that this is not religion. Why do I say this? Because I think that many of you have brothers or sisters who are FDS, who are in the bush. It is almost impossible today to take a terrorist base and not find Quranic books or other things. That means I think that through words you can reach them. Many declarations, many sermons must be made to make them understand that this is not Islam. It is anything but Islam. It has never been said to kill, and we will go even further. We will soon ask Islamic leaders from around the world to join us in this fight, to make clear and frank declarations, to tell all those who are killing in the name of Islam that this is not Islam. Normally, it is a religion of peace, solidarity, and mutual aid. There is no reason for someone to kill in the name of Islam, and for us not to be able to say that they are on the wrong path. Several operations are underway. We are in the consolidation phase, and we are continuing our maneuvers up to our borders. In a few days, you will of course be informed of everything that has been recovered, and we will establish ourselves in these areas permanently. We will not retreat, we will reclaim the entirety of our territory. This will happen progressively. There may be regions that are today that seem not to witness certain acts, but war is an evolving process. We will completely clear areas and gradually tighten the noose on these people. As I said, they have only two choices: either understand the message and return to the homeland, or they will disappear. In this fight we are waging today, the most dangerous aspect is the communication war. I think this is not the first time. Today, I think that the Burkinabés, the Africans, must have understood what the communication war is. Unfortunately or fortunately for us, imperialism, as Thomas Sankara said, is a poor student. A very poor student, because no matter how much you try to expel it from the class, it will return with the same methods. They cannot change, and often it becomes ridiculous. When you look at the imperialist media today, do you see what they publish? They use the same method to set Rwanda on fire, the same method to destroy Sudan, the same method to destroy Africa. It will not work. And today, I think you are well aware, they are very skilled at manipulating information, creating falsehoods all around. And mind you, these same media, I say it loud and clear today, especially Jeune Afrique, they courted us at the very beginning of 2023. They went through several channels to approach us, to make us pay and clean up our image, as they say. We refused. They cannot deny it because we have the evidence with us. They sent people. That's how they operate. And many heads of state fall into their trap. They pay money every month for articles to be published to clean up their image. No, it's dangerous. They only live off that. You pay the money, there you go. They clean up your image. You refuse, they lie to destroy your image. But all of Africa must be informed. And if Africans want to progress, it's to stop listening to these deceitful media. Because as long as you are there, listening to bad information, it eventually becomes a reality, and it's very dangerous for us. Disinformation is at its peak. At our level, we experience this every day. And I always tell people to be very careful. All this to divide and conquer. So everyone at their level must be able to perceive, the maneuvers of imperialism, be able to advise others. And together, we remain united to build our country. That is our mission. And we will build Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso will be what they never dreamed of seeing. Africa must wake up. Africa must leave this situation of conflict. We have been manipulated enough. We have been set against each other enough to be plundered. Today in Burkina Faso, they are certain terrorism is almost over. What needs to be done? Either create a rebellion or start a civil war. That's it. Then they are maneuvering for that. We are waiting for them. And everyone at their level must be careful. Because if people allow themselves to be manipulated, they will be lined up. They will be ignited like the others do. Manipulation must not succeed. We have a goal to achieve. We will achieve the goal. This is the mission currently assigned to us. And I will therefore invite everyone to take this into consideration, because imperialism has many faces. We talk about imperialisms, you see, that are outside the continent, but there are imperialists here in Burkina Faso. When it comes to saying certain things clearly, it must be said. It will hurt, but we will ask for forgiveness, yet we must tell each other the truth in order to move forward. There are people in Burkina Faso who do not want to see others progress. There are people who want to remain alone at the top. No. We have decided to make the state a bit stronger and to share the wealth, because the misinformation started already when we began to implement the Fasombeo initiative. Many entrepreneurs started to mislead the youth and all that. No. We have awarded contracts. We have awarded road contracts, right? At what stage are we? The execution rates for most are not good. The minister recently went on a tour. You all saw it on TV. It's not going well. It's slow. We are asking people to unite. We ourselves have tried to form groups. They don't want to work in groups. That means we unite them one way or another so they can move quickly. We are not going to wait for the whims of some and others and let Burkina develop in 500 years, 1,000 years, no. We want to see significant things. In 5 years, so If you unite, you will have more equipment and you will be able to work more efficiently. As a result, we are in the process of equipping the ONBIE, the Sonateur. Now people are immediately asking for water. We are forced to build our own dams, clear what is there and dig our own wells. That's why we bought the equipment, to equip the ONBIE. They are already in Aradego on the road to Bobo to build the first dams. The second issue is the bankers. Today it is still very common that many bankers refuse to support those who win state contracts and all that. Well, we are used to it, but people need to change their approach. Is there a banker in the room? I don't know, huh? There isn't. All right. So you will report back to the bankers. This needs to change because many banks operate with state money. We ask the bankers to return a portion, which is what we call term deposits, the DAT. These are state companies that deposit their money in the banks. We want our money to do work. People find that they can't give them money because it will weaken their bank. But every year, the banks have made so many billions in net interest. The other day on TV, I was watching a bank that also makes billions in interest and shares it. Either we truly understand each other around the table, or we will move on to another method. And this morning, I wanted to make this statement so that you understand that the fight that is about to start, the dust will rise, as we like to say. You yourself, you must be careful, because these are the same people who will go behind your back to spread misinformation, to create lies, and lead people away from what is essential. There are already some who are trying. We see many people making videos to clean up the images of certain individuals and all that. Be careful. There are many small businesses closing because they can't afford to pay employees' salaries and all that. They have invoices submitted to the Treasury and we can't pay them. That's why we say to give a part of our money to the bank so we can pay these businesses to keep them running. And people are thinking about the money. Do you think we can just leave it like that? The domestic debt, we are going to pay it. By the end of this month, the money will come in. We only asked for a percentage. It's not even all the money we want to withdraw. It's a percentage we asked for to do it. And it requires a lot of thought. Some banks have responded, congratulations to them. But most banks have not transferred the money until today. This is a message I wanted to send to them. We said the end of March, it's the end of March. If by the end of March, the 25% is not there, we will move on to something else. You have been warned, and the manipulation must not continue, because those who are generally victims of this are the poorest segments of the country. He is employed in a small company, he might have his 50,000, his 100,000 per month. His boss has submitted invoices to the Treasury, but he can't get the money. He will lose his job, his whole family suffers, while others are making billions in interest per month or per year. No, this is not going to work. So we need to prepare. This is another front that is opening. There will be all sorts of manipulations, but stay calm. We need to move forward. Those who want to import something into Burkina, go to the ministry. They will give you the papers. There is no deal. If you go there and someone asks you to pay anything, come to the presidency itself to complain. There is an office there for that. And we will see who asked for the money. There is no deal yet to get a special import authorization. It's transparent, it's clear. It must be done. Those who import and then hide goods in stores. To create inflation, please, find them and tell them to stop. You don't pay to hide goods, wait for a shortage, and then release them at high prices. They just need to stop that. I think the ministry has initiated efforts to uncover the stores that people have built in unauthorized areas to stockpile goods. If we catch them, we will sell the goods for free and deposit the proceeds into the Treasury. That's the instruction. So I am counting on you, gentlemen, the economic operators, to advise among yourselves and ensure that this kind of situation does not occur. People are holding back. They wait until there is a need, and then they come out, set a price to gain. That's not even good. It's not good. I don't think it's a fortune that God will bless. We need to manufacture many things locally. I am convinced that whether it's an electric or motorized tricycle, we can manufacture it. So we want to give space to our young talents to express themselves. In fact, we are in the process of wanting to build a large center where we will bring people in and support them to set up. And these are people who will see everything we consume daily. What can we manufacture in Burkina? I know there are talents all over Burkina. The application will be launched soon for young talents to register. In that center, we will do everything possible to have all the necessary machinery and guide the young people. There, once they finish, they can go out and create something. God willing, we will set up a leather unit in the Kaya area to transform many things on site ourselves and create everything we need. If we don't reach this stage and continue to pay outside, our wealth will not benefit us. We need to change our paradigm right now. That's where employment is. That's where people will work. And that's our true independence. The last point concerns our comrades, students, and pupils who have many grievances. In any case, I can assure you that we are aware of all your problems. We will build university residences and even address issues of dining facilities and intermediate scholarships. All these are problems we are aware of, but it will be step by step. We cannot solve this immediately. You already have the construction of the residence here, right? The administrative building. We hope that next year, at the latest, we will launch the university residences, expand the capacity of university dining facilities, increase the number of meals, and finally address the issue of scholarships. Because we are currently working to control military expenses in order to invest in education. Because education is the key. We have not forgotten all these mentioned problems. I even talked to the minister about the laboratories. I said to find a standard, a certain number of minimum equipment, and we will build laboratories worthy of the name in our universities. Because people will come to pursue a scientific field, graduate, and yet they haven't even been able to look at a plant cell under a microscope. That's not possible. Yes, we all took science courses to have access to the small laboratories. You end up realizing that 7 or 8 microscopes, maybe even all of them, don't work, and not everyone can have access. That's the reality. It's always like that. So, regarding this, we want to create model laboratories in many of our universities. You can't come and not be able to access a certain minimum of scientific laboratory equipment to conduct your tests and familiarize yourself. It's in this that we can create. If we haven't developed this laboratory aspect, we are creating theorists. I was even surprised to learn that even at the level of our researchers, there is no scanning electron microscope in Burkina. Since Burkina has existed, there hasn't been one. And I asked the minister, I said to him, but how do you conduct research? Then we are forced to go abroad, to rent laboratories, pay money to do it. While the scanning electron microscope, I don't think it costs $1 billion. How can we not do it? Currently, we are in the process of purchasing it to install in Burkina so that we can do everything here on site. So I hope that by then, all of this will be operational and that it can benefit them, the students themselves, the researchers, the scientists, to advance in their research. The computer rooms and everything that follows. So we will see everything that is possible. The ministry itself had already initiated the acquisition of a certain number of computers so that the students can have well-equipped rooms. And it's done with the Burkinabe, right? It's a Burkinabe unit that manufactures computers. So we made an agreement last time to be able to purchase a lot of equipment with him and equip our university centers. And you will normally have access to these rooms so that you can conduct your research. And the internet, I think that's improving in many universities. The internet is now available for research. We can advance quickly and effectively in both war and development. We have faith. We will never lose hope. We are truly very confident, and as long as we see you motivated and mobilized, that's our fuel. We never get tired. We will continue to move forward in that direction. I told all the ministers, I said to tighten the belt. Since we've been here, there are no government holidays. It's working 24 hours a day. The LT is like that too. There are no vacations for deputies to go rest in the village. We must work 24 hours a day, 12 months a year. So we are in this rhythm. As long as the soldiers at the front have no rest, there's no reason for us to have rest behind. And I therefore invite the entire administration to fall in line to support the active forces in everything they do. So I think that little by little there is progress. We see many changes in behavior. We must manage to completely change the situation. Burkina Faso is a reference. We must tighten our belts. Since we've been here, there are no government vacations, you know. It's working, 24 hours a day. The LT is the same. There are no vacations for the deputies to go rest in the village. We must work 24 hours a day, 12 months a year. So we are in this rhythm. As long as the soldiers on the front lines don't have rest, there's no reason for us to have rest behind the lines. And so I invite the entire administration to fall in line to support the active forces in everything they do. And so I think that little by little, there is progress. We see many changes in behavior. We need to completely change the situation. Burkina Faso is the reference.